Good morning, everybody. All right, so today we have a 60-minute class. It is searching in the Collab Center. So I absolutely love the Collab Center. I know some people think that they still want improvements in there. There's always improvements to be made in every single product. If you let us know what you're looking for, then hey, we'll send it up the line. So I have two emails up right now that I want to show you. These are actually notifications that you get. We'll go into detail a little bit later. So the first one where it says the two, this is your notification. And so if you see, I have this client on agent preview. So if you look at the big black note in here, it says, hey, you need to go to Paragon and approve your listings so your client can see them. That's the agent preview. So you can actually run a search in Paragon. You can preview those listings before they go to your clients. That is a wonderful thing. I know a lot of people would still run searches every single day, find out what's new, and send them off to our clients. Like, wow, that's a lot of work. I'm not a big fan of reinventing the wheel, something that's already in the system for me. I'm not going to redo it. There's also the hot sheet, which is something that is, you can see the changes in the system. So if you want to see what's new for your clients, a hot sheet is good as well. The email on the right, it is a showing request. So this comes from my client. So my client is looking at their home snap or their Collab Center. Sorry, I love my home snap too. Your client is looking at their listings in Collab Center, and they love this listing and they want to schedule a showing. This is the email that you will receive when your client has requested a showing. It doesn't go to showing time. This is simply a nice feature for you to see it. It's a nice, easy way for you to get that information. All right, here is my Paragon, which we have our little quick tips has been added down at the bottom. I absolutely love. All right, so today we have in your go-to webinar, we have some handouts, actually just the one handout. There is a secondary Collab Center handout in the MLS document. So don't forget, in Paragon, let me make my cursor just a little bigger so you guys might be able to see that. There we go. I like a nice big cursor. I hate when a teacher says it's over here. I'm like, I can't find your cursor. Where is it? They've moved on to something else. Here in the upper right hand corner, we'll see MLS documents. I'm going to go ahead and select that. You'll notice that I have access to all of the folders of the MLSs or associations that we vendor their MLSs. So I'll just go down to my real source. Here are all of your folders here. So your education folder, there's one that just says education and MIRS education. They're exactly the same. So in your education folder is where you will find all of those cheat sheets. So if you're looking for Collab Center or CMAs, just type in the search box what you need. Collab, if you spell it with 2 L's, always works. And there are 3 different handouts in here. So one is the About Me page. It's a little deeper into the Collab Center. That's for your clients to see. It's a message for your clients. So we will show you the agent side of it and the client side of it in our fast-paced 1-hour class. Here's your Collab Center for buyers, and then the one for everybody. Okay, so today's class is searching in the Collab Center. So we're going to spend just a little extra time in the searching. Oh, one change. Hey, I want to tell you. So we used to have vacant land / docondominium. So I'm going to go ahead and I'm going to spend a second here. I'm going to go into the vacant land search. It's the style that you're going to be looking for. I'll tap the magnifying glass. Docondominium and vacant land have now been separated. So if I select docondominium, hit save, let me just find out all the actives. There are actually 25 different condominiums for sale or rent, as I've selected sale or rent in the MLS system. So now you know. So when that boat slip comes up for sale, you can find it. Okay, so let's get back to our residential search, because if you want to set up the condominium search in the Collab Center, you certainly can. So let's do a residential search. So we're going to select residential. I have customized mine a little bit. I have put the original MLS number up at the top. We were working on something and I just needed to change it a little bit. If you're like me, I like to type and tab my way through. I'm a desk jockey from way back when, but it's either way. Either I can type and tab, or I can simply search with the search icon if I'm not positive what's in here. Oh, that's what, yep, I'm looking for residential. Save, and I go into my statuses. If I don't know what I need, tap the magnifying glass. Either I can select all of the actives. So if I just type in active, I will get all of these fields. If you don't want any of these, so if your client doesn't really want to see something that is pseudo pending, so an offer has been accepted and they are accepting backup offers. So maybe your client's a little hot, wants really active properties only. Maybe you'd want to take that one off. Maybe, who knows? Maybe they keep showing the contingency applies. Maybe they don't want to see anything that has a contingency on it. It's all geared to your clients. What do your clients want to see? Okay, so I've selected all those. You might notice that mine are spelled out. That was something in the preferences wizard, and it says to show the long verbiage of that one. Actually, I think it might have been Colleen and I were talking about that. I'm like, hey, Colleen, I've forgotten how to do that. She says, oh yeah, it's in the wizard. Of course it's in the wizard. Okay, so we're gonna search by the map. I love my map. So in the mapping, this is where you can put your address, is in the top bar. You can also use the drop-down menu to see the places where you have been lately. You could use your office's address, or I put my agent physical address is in here. And these are some of the different places that I have actually searched. So today, let's go Macomb Township. And you got to put in here Michigan, otherwise, and then I can hit return or use the magnifying glass to make it move. You'll also notice that I have my map on a hybrid view. And on the white bar all the way to the left is where you'll see hybrid. So it also has the road names as well as the aerial view, and that's the hybrid view. So if you like one or the other or both, you can have it. So we're going to say that our search starts here in the center of Macomb Township, not too far from the office. So I'm actually going to be making a trip out there today. It's kind of nice. So we'll say that they want to be within a couple miles of this area. This is a really easy one. So in the bar, you have a miles. So we'll put, they want me to go 5 miles and then tell it to search the radius. So now if I zoom out a little bit, you will see the 5-mile radius. And at this point, there are a lot of homes here to be searching. But remember, we don't have any criteria in here but residential and active. So let's go back to that criteria and talk a little bit more about the searching itself. So on how to maneuver back is here under the blue bar, you see on your residential condo, under that, going to go back to your criteria. I know Lisa Harris likes to just save the mapping for last and then run the search from there. Doesn't matter how you do it. So we also have a full address field. You could put in a full address here, 1960 Vine Street, 649 Glen Eagles, and then I would still put either the county or the municipality in. Be careful in adding the street, avenue, ways. You can use an asterisk in place of that. So if you're not sure if it's Glen Eagles avenue, street, way, or nothing at all, you can put an asterisk there either in the beginning or the end of it. So prepend or append those. Now, do you want properties that are both for sale and for rent? If I have a minimum price of $300, then it doesn't matter. I don't have to make the selection. And if they only want to go to $450, and I love the fact that we only have to type in those first 3 digits, I don't need to add the county or municipality. But remember, if you are putting in a municipality, sometimes it is best to use the county, because if I am looking at Clinton, you'll notice that there's, wow, a few Clintons around. I had someone ask if maybe they were divided into areas. That was a great thought, but no. The first 2 digits of each one of these codes is the county indicator. So I know that Clinton Township is 50, and if you're new to the system, you'll figure that out soon too. So if I wanted to make sure to narrow down my search just to Macomb County, I could type in Macomb, make my selection, and now when I type in Clinton, you'll see that only the one in Macomb County comes up. So, but I don't want to add in my municipality here because I am searching in Macomb Township. I would get no results if I selected that it was in both the map and Clinton Township. Alrighty. I can also do an address number from a minimum to a maximum. I know it's on Vine Street somewhere, and it's in between 1,000 and 6,000. So you could run a search like that, whether it be single or multiple addresses in here too. But the one that I like is multiple addresses, and this Colleen fought for. She really made this one happen for us. So if your client gives you a list of addresses, you can copy and paste them right in here to the multiple address. You can also copy and paste those into the power search bar as well. Either one works. Now, writing. Structure style. Do you want a 1-story, 2-story? Are you very particular? If you're looking at condos, does it have to be on the first floor? Can it only be a 1-story? Could it be a 2-story condo? If your clients are concerned about climbing stairs or elevator access, these are the things that you'll want to put in. Of course, right now in the low inventory, it's not a lot of work to search through the items out there right now. And one of the things that tripped me up coming to the MLS 2-story home was the fact that it was actually a 1.5-story. I'm like, what do you mean? There's a full set of stairs going to the 2nd story. It's not a shorty. It's a full story up there. What's the deal? It's just the fact that the square footage on the bottom or the 1st floor does not match the square footage on the 2nd floor. My office here, there's no 2-story above here. This was actually an addition when they built the home. So this doesn't have anything over 2nd story. The master, same. So even there's a eat-in kitchen that goes up to the 2nd story. It's a great place for me to holler at my kids. That's what I really like about the house. I'm not going to make any selections right here. But the things that we are concerned with, how many bedrooms? She at least wants 3 bedrooms. We don't have to put in a max unless she will clean no more than 4. I don't want anything more than 4 bedrooms. Okay. Bathrooms total. Now remember, this is the total number of baths. That includes half baths and full baths. And when you're counting on your fingers, that's a 1, that's a 1, that's a 1. So I have 1.5 baths in the house. That makes 2 baths, 2 total baths. These are not integers in here. These are full numbers. So we're going to at least get 2 baths minimum. So this could get me 1.5 baths in the house. Now, if this isn't your needs or your client's needs rather, let's scroll down. You'll see on the bottom left, there's secondary criteria. So I'm going to tap that arrow down and scroll down. Here are the bathrooms full and bathrooms half. So these are going to be what you need. If your client has to have 2 full bathrooms, this is the field you have to use. And now you'll see over on the right-hand side, I have a criteria summary. So I have both bathrooms total and bathrooms full. So I could simply just delete this from here, or I could tap the blue box and gets me to the edit, and watch this. Highlights it and brings me right to it. I absolutely love that part. So I'm just going to go ahead and delete it right from that spot there. Okay. Basement, of course, yes. Type and tab, waterfront, I can't. You know, and as much as I love fireplace, it is not a required field. So therefore, it does get missed, which is a bummer. So I'm not going to select that I really, really want it. My client really, really wants it. I'm just going to have to make sure that there are. Now, my features are what I absolutely love, because everything and anything is in your feature codes. If you want financing, if you want outbuildings, if you want condo association stuff, that's in there. So let's go ahead and tap that magnify. Before I do that, this is broken into the must have, must not have. Sorry, but no, bad neighbors are still not part of the must not have. And the must have 1 or more. This is what I like. Hey, as long as I get either on the golf course, in the golf course community, or somewhere around that golf course, I'll be fine. So I'll have, as long as I get 1 of those 3, I'm a-okay. And that's a really cool feature. So let's go ahead and tap that magnifying glass. All righty. And you'll see that all of these have been closed, because as I scroll down, there is a page and a half of types of features. So it covers everything from zoning, water features, outbuildings, architectural style, really cool. Remember, some of these are not mandatory fields, or what one person calls a craftsman, somebody else might be calling something else. I wish there was an exact place we could say for this, but you know, there hasn't been. You can do a lot of research on your own. Things like the end unit is always good. I only wish that people would use everything that they can. So you'll see even pet restrictions. These are part of the homeowners association or condo association. So these are the types that are definitely, please use everything you can as a listing agent. As a buyer's agent, you can't use everything. You'll get, well, when there was a flush market, you'll get that one listing that has all the criteria, like, sweet, we don't even have to look at it. Let's just go write it up. That's the one that matches. So as long as you know how to use these, so I don't want a common basement. Of course, in a residential, single family residential, I'm not going to find a common basement. Let's see, as long as I get a poured or a block basement, I'll be fine. And save that. Let's see what that's done for our numbers here. Waiting for that to, it's 12. So I know that common didn't do a thing for us. Poured and block is really going to be a lot of them. School district, so you can search by school district alone. That's a really nice feature. You can also do that in HomeSnap for your clients and for yourself. Search for the homes that are specifically in a school district. Absolutely love that feature. Now garage, I love my garages, and here we are in Michigan. You gotta have one for your car, one for your snow blower and lawn mower. So you gotta have one for all the outdoor equipment and one for your car. So if you're a 2-car family, you need a little more. We're gonna say she at least wants a 2-car garage and 2,000 square feet. Okay, well, we're down to 8. That's fine for the moment. So we're gonna go ahead and search. Now remember, this is your spreadsheet view here. I absolutely love the spreadsheet. You can change the type of spreadsheet that you had by clicking on the green reports on the right-hand side. I'm going to scroll down to my available spreadsheets and open that up. So here are your different types of spreadsheets. There's your default that we've created. Fannie Mae, residential details. If you're looking at land and lot, so if you're looking at vacant land, that's awesome. Water, lake, and river features. So it's just change those columns to be a little bit more specific to what you're looking at. Also, you can customize this yourself. Up here on the blue bar, there's the customize, and you'll select those fields. There's a few quick tips on this on our YouTube channel. So don't forget, all of the classes that we do are being uploaded to our YouTube channel, which is My Real Source Media. I'll usually have a link to, I include a link every single time in my Monday morning, the education corner. So, and it's all segregated by playlists. So we absolutely love that. Now, your spreadsheet here is sorted by asking price from lowest to highest. You can sort it by any one of these, by cumulative days on market, if they do or don't have a basement. See, I have actually customized this one just the way I like it. All right, so we're going to say that this is our search for our client. So we save this search for our client under that save icon on the blue bar. We need to save it as to give it a name. This is not for myself, but for my contact. Now remember, you can actually start from your contact record. So you can go into your person and do it that way. This just happens to be the way I was always running a search, and then I saved it to my client. So we're gonna say, this is gonna be for our client, Buyer Bob, and it's 3/2/21. Whew. I haven't assigned Buyer Bob in here yet. No problems, we can add him right on the fly. Now, even though it's just the first name and last name that are required, if you want to set them up on automatic emails, you know an email is required. Buyer Bob. Alrighty, and save that. So that's all the pieces that I need, first, last, and the email address. Next, we're going to go to save, and then we want to pop right into the notifications. So we'll save a few steps by not clicking around. So now this has put us right into the contacts icon. So there's my tab. And then it will bring me right into the buyer activity and right to Buyer Bob. So this will bring me right to the Collab Center and the settings. So honestly, if I want my client on automatic notifications immediately, then I can just send the welcome message. Easy peasy, done. But let's do a little bit more exploring. So let's click the settings. I can do a custom message body for my client, but we'll show you why you don't have to have one anymore. The notification date range is automatically set to 1 year unless you changed it. I've changed mine to 6 months. Notification triggers, I added the status change in mine, which you can do this under the Preferences wizard. It's actually the Collab Center Preferences wizard. So I do have a video. I know it's shocking. I have a video on our YouTube channel that goes over all of the different items in the Collab Center. So if you have any questions on what means what in there, go ahead and give it a whirl. You can fast forward right to the parts that you want. It's right there for you. So, and here are your notification options. So if your client doesn't want them immediately, you set them to recurring. And now you'll see modified time frame pop up. You have to tell the system when your client wants their email, which is so cool. It's not just going to come out at midnight. If your client doesn't check this until lunch every single day, so they go to lunch and they check to see what's going on, then you know what? I would set this at 12, maybe 11. We'll do 11:45 or 11:30, and that will be AM. So any changes between 11:30 yesterday, and then 11:30 today, they will get notified every single day. So if you don't want that midnight email going, if they don't check it till 12 o'clock, because a lot can happen in the morning. All right, so I'm going to go ahead and say okay. So if I want, I could set mine for the same. Doesn't matter. I could set mine differently. I could go immediately. Doesn't really matter. So you'll also have Bob's email has been put in here. But what if he has a wife? And then we're going to go Mrs. Bob. Now, if I had already set up his contact record and I put Mrs. Bob in there, I would simply select notify the spouse or the secondary, and her name would automatically pop in there. Now for me, I don't need to be CC'd or be CC'd on this one. You will notice that you get your own agent notifications, which is what I showed you just a little bit ago. Those are the ones that, the one that was the agent preview that says, hey, got to take a peek at these before they go to your clients. And at the very bottom, here is your subject line. Now this message does clear the Can Spam Act. However, I'm just going to add Macomb Township search on here so they know it's just been modified a little bit for them. And tap OK. And now all I need to do is for these 8 matches to go to my client, I'm going to send that welcome message. It's going to go to Buyer Bob. And then I'll leave it to him to set up his password, or we could send her, put her name in there as well. So you'll notice that your message body is blank. Oh my God, I have to design something? Nope, remember, it's all right here. So let's select preview in the upper right-hand corner, and you'll see what this now looks like. I have my cell phone number in here. My email address, I use upper and lowercase because DeFardo, what kind of name is that? It's D Fajardo, so they understand. It's just a little easier to read. Welcome to the Collab Center, Buyer Bob. That's how they visit their site. 8 matches have been found. Lets them know where do they come from. Either these are undecided listings or we have agent picks. So that is a really, really cool piece. I don't think we may or may not get to go into the agent picks because I wanted to show you the agent preview and the buyer's side of that. So we have to get to that quickly. Your clients will favorite, possible, or reject these listings. And they can communicate with comments. That's one reason why I keep my notifications on immediately. So when my client has a comment to come through, it'll come right to me. They can also make custom folders for themselves, like, oh, homes with pools. It's kind of nice. They can compare different listings to get against each other. They will need to create a password. And then, of course, at the very end, here is my contact information. You'll see if your headshot comes through and it's been squished down, it's just that you've got too tall of a photo. It needs to be a square one. It's just what fits in here. And then these icons, which are not showing at this moment, are your links to your Facebook business page. There is Instagram, Twitter, and Pinterest in here, I believe. And then my company logo as well. All right, and then let's go ahead and send that message. And you always want to make and wait to see that you've got your big green bar across the top, that email sent. You want your green confirmation. And let's go ahead and close that. Okay. One thing under this contacts page, remember we're still in the contacts icon. I'm going to go all the way down to the bottom. There is the message history. So any messages for this client will be seen right here. Because a lot of times I've seen a lot of people in support asking, oh, I need to see that email that went out to my client, but I deleted my copy of it. But here it is right here. There's your welcome email. I'm just going to select it and scroll down, and you'll see exactly what went to your client. Let's see if it has it. Yeah. And there all the pictures came through. Facebook, Google Plus has not been changed to Instagram in the preview. So we have LinkedIn and Twitter. I lied, it was Pinterest. So this is a really great piece. Okay. Under the buyer activity, your agent recommended is here. So if you have a listing that you would like to send to your client, you can either just send it on out to them, or if you want them to get notifications on it, you save it as a recommended listing. So let's go with the easy way. I'm gonna go right to my home and into my market monitor. Now, my market monitor is for St. Clair, the surrounding areas. Those of you who know, I'm up here in St. Clair. So this doesn't fit their criteria of Macomb Township. That's okay. We know they love this golf home. We know that they were really looking at a golf community. So here, and it's apparently a little above their price range. So let's take this listing and get it into Buyer Bob's Collab Center. How do you do that? So I've selected my listing. Actually, I can open it up as well, but I'll have the same blue bar up here. I'm going to save it to a listing cart. And here's where you'll see it's not for yourself again, but for your contact. All right, it's just that one selected. I'm going to stick it to Buyer Bob. Buyer Bob. Okay, so now I didn't have to click notify. That was my habit there. I just put it right into, saved it right into their listing cart. And let's go back over to contacts. And now you should see, once this one refreshes, our agent recommended is right here as well. So now any price changes, any status changes, they will go to your client. Because that's actually how I found this house. This house was way overpriced for us, but then they dropped the price by a ton. Then it popped up in my, actually years ago, it was listing book. And that's how I found the house. It was outside of my price range, but until it wasn't. Okay, so now what I want to do is go over to your client's side of it. So we have that agent recommended, and then the saved search has been set up. Today we are not doing the agent preview. I believe I have a quick tip video on that not all that long ago that's popped up. All right, so let's go see what your clients see. And honestly, I can do that right here from the View Collab Center button. I can also do it. I'm going to close out Buyer Bob, and that's going to give me that spreadsheet view. I can see him right here as well. So on Buyer Bob, let me highlight this box for you guys. There we go. So Buyer Bob has now been highlighted. There are 8 matches, and they are all here in the undecided, even that agent preview one. So remember, as your clients mark things as favorites, possibles, and rejects, you will see them right here. So this client has 17 favorites, 4 possibles, and 4 rejects. So at any time, I can go into the 17, and now I can see all of their favorites. So here's one that's closed. I can honestly sort this by status, and that's why that sorting becomes so important. So now I can say, hey, well, let's go ahead and get a tour going. And maybe we're gonna start in, we'll do a couple of Birmingham listings. So see, I sorted by city. So Birmingham, and then Bloomfield. So I could honestly put these right in my actions button. This is a new, this has been updated. So now when I click my actions button, this was just updated. Here are my options I can do with these. I can take it into Cloud CMA and create a buyer tour, or do a CMA, or bring them right to showing time. And that's where I would do it, is bring those right to showing time. So that's what I love. This was just updated Wednesday. That's awesome. Let's go back to, that was the spreadsheet view. Where I was going with that one is to see your client's Collab Center. I can also tap the blue view button here That's how I know that these clients are all on the Collab Center. All right, doing good on time, gang. Okie doke. Sorry, you might hear my dog in the background. Their homepage. So this has so much information for your clients. There's the fairway court. You will see that is awesome. So they are all in the undecided. You also have the agent picks. Now this one I know is the agent pick was the only one in St. Clair. All right, that one is not new. It's been around for a minute though. Okie doke. So your client, here's your snapshot. They can favorite, possible reject, put it in a folder. They want to view the detail. This is where they can also schedule request a showing appointment. They cannot schedule it themselves. They have all their information right here. And then the same arrow and box that you see at the top of the screen was on that last screen. So let's go ahead and hit that button. Here's where they can email, make a comment to you, request a showing, or even share it on Facebook. So those are some of the great pieces that I love about the Collab Center. You'll see here's all the information from the MLS. And then as we go across the top, it'll bring you right to the property info, history, which you're familiar with those, and community reports. Let's close out the listing. And let's talk about the tabs on the top on this page as well. You have your buyer activity, the My Home Wealth. If your client is a homeowner at this moment, you can put their homes into the My Home Wealth in here. So this is a whole different class. It's a lead generation. It's interesting. It's been pretty good for mine for the value of my home. So now your client also has these folders here. There's the listing activity. They have access to recent sales in the area too. So I had seen some agents that were a little upset. They're like, oh, that's my job to tell them the recent sales. Remember, they get this information everywhere as well. This is so much in the market. So give it to your client, address the elephant in the room. There's your communications pieces right here. There's no comments, so they can find their communications here as well as in their inbox, and then their own saved folders. The last bit I want to show you is under your information. So go to the contact me, and this is information for your client. Here's your brokerage. Now, I don't work for a brokerage, I work for the MLS. Gives me all of the information here. So I have a direct line at the office or the extension. Those can be added in here as well. You'll want to contact Monica in membership. That's mkapolka@myrealsource.net. You can also add in a small video. It's called Your Story. My story is all about the MLS. I love teaching at the MLS. And here is my new agent onboarding video, Chapter 1. On the right-hand side, you also have information for your own website. So if you have your brokerage website, actually, you have a HomeSnap website as well. So you have a public profile piece that you can just put right in here. I'll go ahead and select this so you guys see what that HomeSnap public profile looks like. And there you go. So it'll lead them right to you. They'll be able to search homes on your site. It's really nice, absolutely nice. And if they're on their cell phones, they can download the app and they should be connected to you. And that's the way that you want them. You want your clients to be connected to you in HomeSnap. So that way when they're looking in HomeSnap, all they see is you. So that was my site. Now I have added in links to all of the sites in here. This is through the Preferences Wizard in the Collab Center. Right in Paragon, go to your preferences, and then at the bottom right, there is the Collab Center Preferences Wizard. That's where I added in, so I think my site comes from membership. So you can always email me, let me know. I'll get it into your membership file, letting Monica know, or either ask Monica to do that. So you'll see Facebook, Twitter, LinkedIn, and Instagram. I believe I've kept something here in Twitter, but I don't know. Here is the About Me page, which mine cut off. I think I was messing with it the other day and did something. You'll have that. Now on the bottom left, these are links that you put in here. And you'll see I have given them a name, as well as you'll be able to see the exact URL for those sites. Semco Energy, the Blue Water Chamber of Commerce. These are things in my area. DirecTV. Now here's what I found from the National Association of Realtors. This was on a YouTube site, of course. Staging can help you sell. Kind of nice. There's that home snap. Put it in there everywhere. So this is just information for your client. You could be putting in your favorite plumbers, your favorite electricians, who do you need for inspectors, or the closing company your brokerage uses and promotes. It's up to you and your broker. So we've gotten through a little bit of searching in Paragon, gotten through some of the really cool pieces in there. We've saved that search for your client. We have set up notifications on your client. Remember, you can set them up immediately, or you can set them up at any time during the day. If you want a 9 a.m., 12 o'clock, 6 p.m., that's when you'll want it to go. The default is midnight, because those are the changes at the end of the day. That's when your default is. You don't have to change it. I mean, it's fine the way it is. So you know how to create your client's Collab Center site by simply saving those searches and then going and setting up automatic notifications. The default is the Collab Center. That's the way that we absolutely love it. To view your client's likes, you can go right to the contacts icon and you'll be here. Simply go into your client's name, click on your client's name, into the buyer activity, and now you'll want to select that particular saved listing, because I have both agent recommended and the buyer Bob saved search. So if you have to go in and edit a search, you certainly can. You can resend the invitation right here, and you can view the Collab Center as too. If your client doesn't like the Collab Center for some crazy reason, there is still that straightforward email link. So they'll only get an email every time something changes. There's not going to be a place for them to save their listings like you can on Realtor.com, Zillow, Trulia, all those other sites. They all allow you to say, oh, save. I like this one. I like this one. You want your clients on the Collab Center so you can see what they're liking and not. The other thing I wanted to show you, I'm going to go ahead and close out Buyer Bob. On the main page here, if I scroll all the way to the right, I'll use my top client. She was last notified on March 1st, and she last accessed it just on the 27th. So this is a great indicator of when is your client actually looking at those emails. So they could also, if they just get an email and they scroll through just the front page and not click into anything, that will not show on the accessed, because that is not actually accessing the site. So if they're just scrolling through and looking at the photos and they're not accessing the site, you'll see that they are just not interested in any of those listings. You might want to reach out to your client. All right, and we do have 9 minutes left of class. So I do want to show you this one thing. So agent preview, where this button says approve all. This client, Debbie Gmail Fajardo, she's a pain in my butt. That's me. She said if I show her any more yellow houses, she's going to flip her lid and fire me. Okay, I will now start looking at. So I am not about to get fired by my client. You know what I'm going to do? I'm going to make sure to look at those listings before going out to my client. So instead of running a search, seeing what's new, making sure there's no yellow homes, and sending out what's not new, I don't know. I'm going to let the system do this work for me. So I'm going to click into my client. Now, the contact activity is a nice overview. So I'm going to go into the contact information. And here on that information, she is active and she is set to the agent preview. So this is where it says it's got to come to me first before it goes anywhere. So this is where we go back to the email, drag this over here. There we go. We're drag it over here. So here is the email from the Collaboration Center. This is the activity notification for me. All righty. So you'll see this is the agent notification update. There have been 2 updates. The name of the search is the lottery search, and you must approve listings before your client can see them in the Collab Center. So here's, same exact listing. Here it is. I will simply log into Paragon, go to this client. That's in Miss Lisa's account. Oh, that was mine, sorry. That's Debbie Gmail Fajardo. Easy way. I don't have to go in, blah, 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 find all that stuff. I'm not going to approve all right here. I'm going to click on the 4 to see what those new listings are. And I honestly already went through and approved some the other day. So here's what we're going to do. We're going to select one, say, yep, I've looked at this listing, and here it is. On that blue bar, approve. Approved listings will appear as undecided in your client's contact or collaboration center, and approve. Now this next one, we're going to say maybe Carterville is too far out, and we're going to disapprove. Maybe it didn't have a fireplace that my client must have, so we're simply going to disapprove. And it says these listings will not appear in their Collab Center, and disapprove. Alrighty. So that is now, you'll see that's been changed to 2. I'm going to leave those. And just in case you need those items that have been disapproved, maybe if they're out of listings, like, oh, maybe I should look at these again. I'm simply going to click on those 6 and find those right here. These are still active. So maybe, well, okay, maybe she does want this one, or maybe she does want that one. Those are, they're not gone. They're just in a different column, and they are right there for you. Okay, so we actually got through a lot today. That's fantastic. We did the agent preview. Now, I know this is just a skim over on how to do this stuff. Remember, you have the handout that's in your GoToWebinar control panel. If you're opening up that control panel, go down to the handouts, and it says that there are 1 of 5. That is the Collab Center for Buyers handout that was just updated in September. So remember, where can those handouts be found? In the very top of Paragon, you'll see the MLS documents. And there's an education folder. Simply type in Collab and return. That is a newer one, Collab Center for Buyers. Because remember, we do have the ability to put your sellers in the Collab Center as well. So that's on the other handout. So you'll see the way we always do our handouts, easy step by step, lots of pictures. I absolutely love it that way. So you'll see the agent recommended listings and viewing your client's site here as well. All right, take care, everybody. Bye-bye.